Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now today's video is going to be on these three products here, which are from the new L'Oreal Sculpt range. There was other products in the Sculpt range, but I feel like these are the ones that probably needed to get reviewed the most, sort of thing. There was like blushes and stuff, but I don't wear blush that often anyway, so I didn't feel like the need to buy it. So yeah, if you want to see like my personal review on these three items, then just keep watching. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be trying out is the L'Oreal Sculpt foundation. Now I got this in the shade Clear Light 01, and I'm not gonna lie, it does look quite light. Like, I compared it to my other foundations in the bottle and it does look a lot lighter, so I have a feeling this is obviously going to be too light for me. But there was only two colours to choose from, and that's because apparently there's something in this which is supposed to change to your skin colour. I've heard that doesn't actually work as well as it should, so I don't know how well this is going to look, but I'm going to roll with it. If it is really light, then I will mix in some of my Body Shop darkening drops. I know that these are like another product, but they don't actually change the formula and the consistency or anything like that, so you don't really need to worry. But yeah, this does seem really light, so we'll just see how we go. My first impression is that it does seem really runny, like it's running on my hand, but we'll see. So normally when I apply foundation, I just apply it with my finger and then I rub it in my beauty blender. I'm going to use my beauty blender rather than a brush, as that's just what I prefer anyway, and I'd rather apply my foundation with a sponge. I'm just applying a bit more because I don't feel like I've got enough on. It doesn't look as light as it does in the tube. I don't know whether it looks a lot darker on my face than it does in the tube, which is kind of strange, but I don't know if that's because it's apparently changed to my skin colour. I don't really know. I'd say it's got more of a pink undertone rather than a yellow undertone to this foundation, but it's actually a really good match. I didn't think it would match this well. In terms of coverage, it's definitely a light coverage foundation. Now, it's supposed to be half the coverage of a normal foundation, so I would agree with that. It is a light coverage foundation, which I personally prefer. It's not matte. It's definitely not matte. It's kind of dewy, actually. It's not overly dewy. It's kind of in the middle. If you do like a full coverage foundation, then I don't think you're going to like this because it is very light. So I'm just going to head on and do the rest of my makeup, but I'm just going to speed this all up because I have got loads of other tutorials on what I do. I watched one of Jacqueline Hill's YouTube videos recently, and she said when you're applying concealer with a beauty blender, go back and forth over it, and then it's less likely to settle in like the fine lines under your eyes. I don't know whether this actually works or not. I'm going to try it out for a few days and see if I notice a difference. Okay, so moving on to the next product, I'm now going to be trying out the L'Oreal Infallible Sculpt Contouring Palette. Now I have mine in light to medium. I did look at the, I think it's just like dark, called dark or something like that, but the dark one was a lot more warm toned, and I was thinking for contour the light tone one is going to be better, so I picked up this one. They're a cream to powder formula, and they have a contour shade and a highlight shade. The highlight it's not like a shimmery highlight, it's more of like a flat highlight, so I don't know how much I'm going to like that, but I really think I'm going to like this shade here. I did actually think when I brought it that it was going to be this small, and I'm quite happy now that it is actually bigger. It also comes with an instruction guide, which is really helpful for people who aren't sure what they're doing, and it has examples of different face shapes. Now, the only problem I personally have is that I have a round shaped face, and it says for round shaped faces they're not supposed to contour the top of their forehead, but even though I have a round shaped face, I still have a rather large forehead, so it means that I do actually have to contour my forehead. So for me this isn't too helpful, but to like other people who have more normal shaped heads, then this will be perfect. But yeah, I think that's really handy to have actually, because I haven't seen any other products really that do like a little instruction guide, so I really like that. I also love that it has a mirror in it. I think that's really handy because quite a lot of palettes don't have mirrors in, which I think is so annoying. But I'm gonna apply this with my Real Techniques contour brush, I think it's called. Not much is coming off on the brush. Okay. I think it's this brush that isn't really working too well. I'm probably not supposed to do this, but I'm going to first apply it with my finger, because I feel like that's how I'm going to get the most precise application. Okay, so now I've got it on my face, I'm going to actually try and blend it in. Now I am going to use that contour brush because I feel like it should work. My first impression is that if you're any darker skin tone than me, I don't think this is going to be dark enough, because I mean on my skin, when I blend it out, it blends to a really nice shade. Like, it's not intense at all. This is really natural looking on my skin tone. On a lighter skin tone, it obviously will look more dramatic, but personally this is kind of more natural looking. But I kind of like that because I like my contour to be natural. I don't like it to be like two straight lines down my face. I actually really like how that worked, kind of thing. It was really easy to blend out. Like, you just stroked a little bit and it was like blended out completely. So I really like that. I also really like the formula of it, that it dries to a powder. When I look at my skin close up, you can't see the product, so it is very natural looking. Obviously you can see the product, if you get what I mean, but you can't see it on the skin, if you get what I mean. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it really does look actually really nice. I really like that. But I do recommend applying it with your finger first. This side I applied it with the brush first and it's kind of gone a bit everywhere, whereas this side is a lot more precise. But that's fine, we can always go and clean up that with a bit of concealer, which I think I might do now. So I'm just going to carry on doing the rest of my makeup. I'm also going to use the same product to contour down my nose. So the next product I'll be trying is the Full Slash Sculpt Mascara. Now, I've heard such good things about this. I know it's supposed to line your upper lash line as well as being a mascara basically, so that sounds really cool. So I'm going to try this out now. I've just zoomed you in a bit so you can see more of what I'm doing. Now, the wand to this mascara is really unusual. It hasn't really got any bristles as such. They are so short, but it's got this really odd shape to it, and it's only got like a brush on the one side, but we'll see how it goes. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did use mascara once the other day, and my actual first impression, I absolutely hated it. It made my lashes go so clumpy so fast, but I think that was just because it had so much product, like in the tube, that it kind of all came out at once. And now that I've used it once, it's a lot less clumpy, and I actually really like how it's currently looking. It makes your lashes look really long, and also really thick. Of one coat, it has actually completely like done my mascara, so we'll see after the second coat what it looks like. I love this mascara for the bottom lashes. I feel like it separates them really well, and the fact that it gets bigger at the bottom means that it really gets into like the end lashes, which I think are the most important to get nice and long. So I'm just applying a second coat now, and honestly you could leave it at one coat. I don't really need the second coat, but I do like to go to town with my mascara. It's still not going clumpy, which is great because loads of mascara, once you apply a second coat, they go clumpy straight away. I'm just zooming you in even more so you can properly see the eyelashes. But you can see how long they look with the mascara. So I'm just going to finish up the rest of my makeup now. I don't have much to do. Just remembered that I haven't trialled out the highlight shade in the contour palette. Now, to be honest, I'm not really sure what to use this shade for because I've just gone and applied my actual powder highlighter. So I probably should have put this underneath, but I completely forgot. So I might just put this like slightly under this area here. I'm not going to go right into my eye because I feel like that will literally just crease. So I'm just going to put it in that eye area. I'm not really too sure what to think about that. I mean, I've put it slightly airy here and it does look really nice, and I've also put it on my chin just to highlight a bit and other places. Now, I'm not a lover of that. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I'd use this palette for that. I feel like I would just use the contour shade, but I find the contour shade is actually so good that I would buy it even though I don't like this product anyway. Me personally, I really like quite an intense highlight that you can actually see like glittering on the face. So I'm not too keen on that shade, but it's kind of personal preference really. I personally really like all three of these products, just apart from this shade here and this contour kit. I just don't really feel like I'm going to use it. Apart from that, I love all three products. I really like this foundation. It's got a nice light coverage, which I personally really like. This contour shade, I feel like it's the perfect amount of like cool toned, so I feel like it works really well as a shadow to the face. This mascara, at first I hated it, but if you're like me and you've only tried it once, give it a go again. And now I absolutely love it. It's very similar to the Lash Sensational by Maybelline, so maybe this one is slightly more expensive, so I don't know if I like it more or if I just like them the same, but I do really like this mascara. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please go give it a huge thumbs up. Comment any videos you'd like me to do and if you liked this one. And also subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!